Hi folks, today we're going to take a quick look at the Apple App Store and talk a little bit about how to edit and move around apps. So when you unlock your iPad, one of the first things you'll see on your home screen is probably going to be your App Store icon. It's going to be a blue square with a white A. Ours here is on the top row of our list of apps on this page. And when you tap on that, it's going to go ahead and open the App Store for you. Now, if you haven't been in the App Store for a while, or depending on some of your settings, when you first log in or when you try and download an app, it may ask you for your Apple ID and password. So do make sure that you have that on hand before you get too involved in anything. Now, when you first open the App Store, the first thing you're going to see is typically some newer recommended apps. So it's the end of the year, so here we can see that Apple has started putting out a lot of their best of. So we've got iPad App of the Year, Trend of 2020, the top free charts, the top paid charts, so on and so forth. These lists throughout the year will kind of update. Sometimes they'll be themed, sometimes they'll just be best of, sometimes they'll just be things that are really popular. Down at the bottom of your screen, what you're going to see are some options for today, games, apps, highlighted in blue because that's the page we're on, arcade, and search. So today, games and arcade are just going to be other areas where Apple is going to recommend some apps to you. What we're going to look at today is going to be the search option. So when I tap on search, it's going to go ahead and take me onto the search page. The great thing about the search here is that you have a few different ways to search. If you know the specific name of an app that you're looking for, you can go ahead and type that in. So if you want the Netflix app, you just type in Netflix and it goes. If you don't know the name of the app or you don't have a specific app in mind, you can go ahead and use a search term. So you could do something like videos, robots, jigsaw puzzle, fishing games, and what it will return will be a whole bunch of different options. So we're going to go ahead and just do jigsaw puzzles here because that was one of the recommended things. So when I do jigsaw puzzles, you'll see that a whole bunch of different options pop up. And I just want to take a second to talk a little bit about what some of these different options look like. So in the top left corner, you're going to see that our very first search result is for Jigsaw Puzzle Collection, and that this is actually in a light blue box. The reason for that is that this is actually a paid promotional ad. So under the name of the app, you can see that it says ad. And what that means is that the company that made this app has paid Apple to put it at the very top of their search results. Now, you can see that that app is again listed directly underneath it. So that means that the app is naturally coming up pretty high in the search results. So what that means is that the very first search result is not necessarily going to be based on popularity or something like that. A lot of time it's going to be a paid ad. But if you see that app again pretty high in the search results, it typically means that it was a fairly popular app. It's been downloaded a lot of times, things like that. Now, next to the apps, you'll also notice to the right of the app name that there's going to be a Get button, or on the one underneath that, you're going to see that it says $1.99. That means for the one that says $1.99 that the app is going to cost you $1.99 to go ahead and purchase and download. The one on top of that that says Get means that it's going to be free to download. But you'll notice that under that Get, it says in-app purchases. What that means is that the app itself is going to be free to download, but within the game to access certain features or things like that, there might be a cost. So with the one that says $1.99, upfront cost. With the one that says Get, maybe some background costs later on, depending on how invested you are in the game. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can also search for apps directly by name. So I'm going to exit out of our subject search and I'm going to type in Hoopla. Hoopla Digital is one of the apps that is available if you are an Oaklawn Public Library card holder, and it allows you to access ebooks, audiobooks, comics, movies, music, things like that. Now you can see that when this pops up, again, we have that blue box up at the top, so it's an advertisement for Audible. Then our very first search result is going to be Hoopla Digital. And then everything after that are going to be apps that are similar to Hoopla, but not Hoopla. So next to that, we have Libby, which is also another library app where you can get ebooks and audiobooks, Overdrive, Epic, if you continue to scroll, you'll see other apps that are going to let you access ebooks, audiobooks, movies, music, so on and so forth. But since Hoopla is what we were looking for, I'm going to go ahead and tap on the picture of that to open up the full details. On the full detail screen, you have a lot of different information. You can see the name of the app, Hoopla Digital. You can see who created that app, Midwest Tape. You see the Get button. You see the ratings. It's number 5 in books, and it's appropriate for ages 12 and up. Then underneath that, you're going to see some screenshots. If there's more screenshots than we'll show on the screen, you can swipe and you would see additional ones. There's just the 3 here, so we don't see anything else there. Underneath that, we're going to see a little description of what the app is. And then if I continue to swipe and pull my screen, I'm going to see ratings and reviews, what was new in the last update, and then some additional information. So now that I found the app that I want, what I'm going to do is go ahead and tap the Get button. And again, my little App Store confirm pops up, so I can just say that I do want to install it. How long it takes to install is going to depend on the size of the app, the strength of your Wi-Fi connection, so on and so forth. You can see my little circle. Now it says open, so it's ready to go. Now, I could open Hoopla Digital from here, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my home button down at the bottom of my iPad and go back to my main home screen. Now on my main home screen, you can see that the Hoopla Digital app is not here. Because it's a brand new app, it actually adds to the end of my app list, so I have to swipe to get to that final app. Now, let's say that I don't want it there, that I want it on the main home screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to press and hold on that Hoopla app. And you can see that when I remove my finger, it's going to start shaking and it's got a little X in the top. Now there's a few things that I could do here. If I decided that I didn't want the Hoopla app anymore, I could go ahead and X in that little top left corner and it would go ahead and remove the Hoopla app from this iPad. The Hoopla app still lives on my Apple account, so I could re-download it later. I could download it to my iPhone, something like that if I wanted to. I can also now press and hold again and drag that. Whoops, lost it there. There we go. So I can press and hold and drag it, and I can move it to the first home page by dragging it all the way to the left of my screen until it moves over. You can see that all of my apps are still shaking. I'm just going to press my home button again, and that takes me out of it. Again, if I want to edit any of these, move anything around, I just press and hold on that app until it starts shaking, and then I'm good to go. I can also drag things around to reorganize them. So if I want to put Libby on the other side of Hoopla, I can do that. If I wanted to move any of my other apps to a different side, I could do that. If you look at my top row of apps, the clock, the App Store, photos, camera, you'll notice that those don't have a little X. That means those apps can't be deleted from my iPad, and that's usually because those apps came with the iPad. They're pre-installed, they're often Apple programs, so they have to live there no matter what. I could drag them onto another page if I wanted, but I can't get rid of them entirely. And there you have it. I'm ready to go. If I want to get some more apps, some games, some note-taking apps, whatever I want, I just press the App Store and pop back into that. Otherwise, I can just hit Hoopla. I'll go ahead and create my account, put my library card, and I will get started with my ebooks and audiobooks. To get out of an app, just press your home button at any time, and that will take you back to your home screen, and you again will have access to your App Store and all of your apps again. I hope you found this helpful. Check out our other videos for some more information.